Hey everyone, welcome to Schway at Schwarbage, a Batman, Bat fan, Bat review, Bat pod, Batcast. I'm Will.
I'm Jack.
And I am really not sure.
Some days.
Some days I don't know myself.
I don't.
And some days I read Batman comics for a podcast.
Yeah.
And oh boy, today we have all comics, nothing else. It's pure comics today.
Just pure comic books.
We got a duo of Silver Aged issues, Detective Comics 330 and Batman issue 181. Wait, is that right? Yes, it's right.
Yes.
Um, do you guys have a preference on which one we should start with?
Let's all right. I think just the way you listed them, right? Let's just go
Start with Detective
Comics,
Comics?
Detective
Yeah.
Comics 330 and Batman 181.
Awesome.
Now, before we start, something I noticed: both of these comics both have a sort of correlating theme.
Yes, they do.
Mm-hmm. What might that be?
Explain that.
A wrench thrown in the relationship between the titular Batman and Robin.
Indeed.
Exactly. And Quinn, do you mind sharing the title of Batman comics or not of Detective Comics 330? What is the title?
The title of the Batman story of Detective Comics 330, that would be, I don't remember the...
It is The Fallen Idol of Gotham City. Extra
The
new
Elongated
elongated
Man.
man
Oh,
story. Yeah, we're not going to talk about that.
We are going to
Try
exclusively talk about that.
I would love to talk about that.
A later episode when we get desperate.
When we have no more Batman to talk about.
Mm-hmm. We'll make it. Just watch.
Oh, yeah. Oh, dude, yeah.
Yeah, 400 years from now, this podcast is gonna be awesome.
Does anyone want to break us in with the opening to the plot?
I got it pulled out. I got it pulled up. I think I'm ready to do this.
Hit me with it.
He was born for this.
So I just want to describe the cover of this for everyone because I'm pretty sure I selected this comic for us to read just based on the cover. I don't remember if it was me or if maybe someone else selected it, but
It was you. I
Okay.
picked our next issue.
Okay. It features Batman with tattered clothes walking away from the Gotham City limits and with Robin yelling behind him, "I hate you, Batman, get out of town and stay out." And a unnamed man in a suit yelling, "Don't ever show up here again or else." So, everybody hates Batman in this story.
And then, if I may take the reins for just a second,
Please.
the first page is the cover for the story, and it's kind of the same thing. It's Batman being very confused and Robin hilariously yelling, "I hate you, Batman, you're my enemy," and a crowd of people like angrily waving their fists at Batman.
This is real life when they find out that Batman is using all his money to to build these fancy tech suits instead of investing in charity work or the local
greater
economy.
good.
Yeah.
But the inciting incident of this plot centers around a man named Edgar Peters.
Oh, my
Who's
God.
just a
The
humble
icon.
a humble accountant, just an everyday man who notices on a stroll through the city that everyone just seems to completely hate his guts. Like a random people are bumping into him and threatening to attack him, and then when he walks towards the street, every car in the area just swerves over
Yeah.
to attempt to run him over, which is quite a confusing incident for him, surely. And so this story it catches the eye of Batman because it causes a large car crash in the middle of Gotham Just
And
everyone.
also according to Batman, he was the third victim this week
Yep.
of these random like hateful attacks.
Maybe everyone actually just hates this guy. Like, who knows?
He looks like a slimy dude.
He just has one of those faces.
You ever see one of those guys just walking around and you're like, all right, I'm
I'm gonna hit this guy.
I'm driving a bus. Like, there's a literal bus.
There are children inside of this bus.
We're running this guy over.
And all the kids in the bus are like, yeah.
Yeah, hate that guy.
So, Batman. We don't see him deduce this or find this out. He just says it. So we're just led to assume he'd find this out. All three of the men attended a Midtown restaurant called the Golden Roost, and he's like, "This is our good lead, Robin. Let's check it out. Not as famed vigilantes Batman and Robin, but just as Bruce Wayne and Dick Grayson." I think if they're trying to investigate stuff, like, that's never a good idea.
No.
At least so far from what we've read, like when he sent Robin undercover to that boat, should have just sent Robin.
And
Yep.
actually, well, that exact thing you say sort of comes into play in a throwaway line later in the comic.
Yes, but
Which
like they just could have gone and investigated as Batman and Robin.
A little bit.
well, I think you're being generous when you say they investigated. They just went to the restaurant.
No
Very
real
true.
like thorough looking around, just sort of enjoying the experience, because you really got to get into the mindset. You know, that's what you got to do. You got to order your drinks in a very nondescript way.
Yeah, coffee for me, waiter, and milk for my ward.
Yep.
Batman orders milk for Dick Grayson.
He's young enough to fight crime too, but too young to drink coffee.
Didn't we discuss how he was like 12?
Yeah, he's 12 or 13 to 12. It's actually been, man, I should have checked the years this came out. He's probably more like 14, 15 now.
Okay, I think that's honestly old enough to be drinking a little bit of coffee at a restaurant.
Yeah.
But maybe Robin's not a fan.
Anyway, their pleasant enjoyment of this restaurant, that they well, actually no, they did, according to Robin, they ate a full meal and hadn't seen anything, but then they have to leave right away because the bat signal is in the sky, and Batman's like, we should probably bloody go check that out, I reckon. Yeah.
And Commissioner Gordon tells him, "Hey, it's your two greatest arch enemies, Batman." Yes, I'm sure all you listeners know who these two people are. It's Shorty Hopkins and Pete Dumont.
Yep.
The two
Famous
legends.
Batman villains.
Some would argue overexposed, but frankly, I can't get enough of them.
Yeah, I loved them in all those new movies. I actually do wonder, what are the chances that these guys are from a previous issue?
Probably high.
Probably low.
Probably incredibly high, just to be a...
Probably medium. I'm just gonna say that.
Probably super low. Now we've covered all our bases, and we can't be wrong.
Okay.
No. I mean,
Um,
really, I think that they should stop using these overly saturated villains and start focusing on someone who's had, like, no screen time, like Clayface.
so true. So true.
Yeah, maybe try like.
Yeah, but which one?
Are we gonna go into the Clayface?
No,
No,
we can't do
should
that. We
save
can't
that
do
for
that today.
later.
Yeah.
We should
That's
save
like a
that for later.
3-hour super episode.
So anyway, they hop in the Batmobile. They're back as Batman and Robin now. They drive to a place. They just drive to a building near the city limits, and some kids tell them two strangers walked into a building, and Batman goes, "That's probably who we're looking for, Robin." And then a glorious fight takes place. Let me run it down for you. Batman's like, "There's probably a sniper in here. So Robin, you stay back here. I'm gonna move in." Batman walks into the field. The guy shoots early, and Batman's like, "I knew he would have shot early." And then it just cuts to those guys having come downstairs and they're having a fist fight with Batman and Robin. No in between dictating why the sniper chose to put down his gun and come fist fight Batman and Robin. No panel explaining why Robin decided to stop holding back and come help Batman. They're just doing it now.
Yep.
And
In
then
fact,
Batman punches one of them so hard, he flies through the air and knocks out Shorty Hopkins.
I think what may have happened here is they prepared to write like a sniper like battle like, but then they're like, oh, we don't have many panels, so they like doubled down on pure efficiency and in fact had them both be defeated in the same panel in one punch.
Yep.
So yeah, this fight is very brief.
Yeah, what happens next?
After that, there is a plot twist, much to Batman's horror.
And what's that plot twist, Quinn? Oh,
Robin, what are you doing?
I hate you. You're my enemy.
I absolutely love this panel. So not just because of fucking like the dialogue, but also look at Batman. Look at that cursed ass shit.
One of the ears is like way less detailed than the other.
But I mean the facial expression. He looks so sad, and like there's his face looks smushed.
His face is shrouded in complete darkness.
Also, good news, fellas. The two voices you just did from now on will be the voices of Batman and Dick Grayson when I read comics.
Glad.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was cast. I was almost cast as Dick Grayson in the new The Batman movie, but when they realized that he's not actually in the movie,
they decided to go in a different direction.
Yeah, they decided to do another Shorty Hopkins story. Ugh.
So overdone.
I wish they do Red Bane.
Man, how many episodes until the audience realizes we have 4 jokes and one of them is Red Bane?
It's Red Bane. What are the other 3? We got Red
bringing
Bane.
up Poison Ivy's name. We talk about Hitman a lot for some reason.
Yeah.
Those are 3.
Okay. But we still got room for one more. Hopefully
we got one
make
more
it this
joke.
episode.
We gotta it's gotta be a good one, fellas.
It does have to be a very good one.
Anyway, then just like a crowd of civilians who are just watching Batman's cool fight just start attacking him. They start throwing like rocks and like cans at him.
Mm-hmm.
Why does this really bothered me? Why, like, okay, actually, I've just thought of an explanation. Maybe he's shopping, like, at the time. Why does he just have a tin can? Like,
in case he needs to throw it at Batman.
Like, there's no shopping bag. I don't get the tin can.
We don't know if it's empty or not. Maybe he was just eating beans.
Just walking down the street, eating some beans, having a good day.
Only in Gotham. Anyway, I'm glad to know that if like Gotham, like any story about like the GCPD like fighting Batman is now just pointless in my eyes, because if Gotham wanted to get rid of Batman, you just need like 12 guys throwing trash at him, and Batman just like gives up and leaves.
Because what the fuck is
he's
he
not
gonna do?
fight
Beat
the
on civilians?
He could get in the Batmobile and drive away instead of shamefully like walking off into the sunset.
He just walks away.
He knows that he can't beat Robin. We all know fucking Batman issue 1 with the fucking Akuma stance.
Robin is very powerful.
That's our 4th joke.
Robin could easily take out Batman if he needed to.
I would like to quickly read Batman's thought bubble in this last panel of this first story. What did I do? Why has everyone turned against me so suddenly? Including Robin! And Robin's just throwing a rock at him going, move!
Maybe he realized that it's probably wrong. The relationship between Batman and Robin is probably unhealthy. And,
yeah. Weird to bring your adopted son, who is like 15 at the most, out to fight crime.
I also want to point out one quick thing before we move on to the part 2 of this story. I just really appreciate how they specify that, like, where they're going is near the city limit of Gotham, just so that in the cover they can have a sign that says Gotham City Limits, like, with an arrow.
And we don't
So
have
you
to
can
have, like 10 pages of Batman slowly walking to the city limits as more and more people throw stuff at it. Also, like, I love the idea of a reader at the time getting to the end of the story and being like, oh my god, what happens next? Like, whatever, like, could this mean for the future of Batman? Then flipping the page and getting to the fallen item of Gotham City Part 2, like, it's like to be continued right now.
So, I mean, I think that I can shed some light on the writing process of these comics, which was draw the cover image first and then write the entire story about getting to whatever panel they're showing on the cover image.
I think that is exactly what happened for this.
No, you guys are right. This is a real thing that happened in the comics industry during the Silver Age. Marvel actually does it less, but DC, very, very well known that a lot of their like cover stories, they just drew the cover to catch the reader's eye. That's why there are like 40 different gorilla villains in DC Comics. They were just like, everyone just draw gorillas on the cover and make up stories after it.
Well, I mean, that's because a bunch of I don't know why, but a bunch of these like earlier Batman comics sound like just like what if concepts. Like, what if Batman had a rainbow suit? Let's flesh that out.
That's
what
a good
if
story?
That is a fucking. We'll talk about that. Well, jeez,
Spoiler alert, he wore a rainbow suit so no one would notice that Robin had a broken arm.
And we'll get to that shit, man.
I have no idea what you two are talking about.
We'll add it to the queue.
Okay.
We'll add it to the queue.
Yeah, it's on the queue. It's pretty talked about, but we just need to cover it.
Mm-hmm.
But like, fuck, some of these concepts are insane.
Anyway, the story continues. Batman, in a humiliation dazed, he's just stumbling around suburban Gotham.
I love this shit so much. Batman! Batman, my idol!
One guy says nothing, is just smoking a pipe like an old man, just standing in the road, like directly in the center of the road. It appears to be just smoking a pipe, witnessing Batman's greatest failing.
I want to talk about this kid who says Batman my idol, because he goes Batman my idol, as Quentin so expertly voiced, and Batman's like, yeah, it seems like people have stopped hating me, and like he's thinking this in his head, and then the kid goes, I hope you're all right, Batman, and Batman's like, I gotta get to the Batcave, and Batman puts his hand on this kid's shoulder, has an internal monologue, then walks away without saying anything to him.
That is how I interpreted it. I know that they want me to fill in the blanks and, like, you know, think that he's saying something. No. No way.
Batman, listen, everyone has their own different, like, headcanon and stuff. Batman is just, like, an antisocial weirdo for me, who just, like, doesn't know how to do, like, normal human interaction. Just, like, and just walks away.
It's kind of relatable, but I actually have a panel from another story that supports the theory that Batman may not always have a grasp on what he's thinking and what compared to what he's saying out loud.
Oh
So
my God.
I hope we can touch on that further.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, now we just cut to the Batcave, and Batman has left his just tied up uniform just on the floor and is wearing a new one. And Batman's like, "You don't remember attacking me, Robin?" And Robin's like, "No, I blacked out." And then when I
Sure,
came back,
Robin.
yeah. And then when I came back in, the police were arresting Hawkins and Dumont. God, I can't like we would forget Hawkins and Dumont were in the last story. They didn't need to bring it up again.
Yep.
And Robin says, "I feel terrible for having acted that way." And Batman says, "Hey, it's okay, buddy.
It's
not your
all right,
fault."
man.
Which is nice. They See, this is kind of a thing about the story. The premise, like the cover, has been resolved immediately.
Yeah.
And also, I like how Batman's like, it's okay, Robin, it wasn't your fault. I was victimized. He starts out sympathizing with Robin, and then it's just like, no, this was really hard for me. Like, I'm sorry you were like mind controlled or whatever, but man, this is really hard on me.
Everyone threw rocks at me and cans and.
Whereas
The Batsuit is.
poor Dick has to go through the trauma of throwing rocks at his adoptive father.
And then Batman's like, it all adds up. We ate at that same restaurant, and then this happened, which means this whole story, this whole 2 stories of Batman doing this investigation was just to confirm what Batman already confirmed. He's like, yep, now we know that all the victims did go to that restaurant I already knew they all went to.
Yep.
But it does give some insight, as stated previously. Batman ordered the coffee while Robin ordered the milk.
Robin did not order the milk. Batman ordered the milk for Robin.
You know what I mean. So he figures out that it's the coffee specifically that is behind this mystery.
Mm-hmm.
What I want to know is why only 3 people. Like, how this restaurant. Like, no one wants to go to this restaurant.
No.
This only happened to 3 people. Maybe, I guess that only 3 people ordered the coffee. But if you're a restaurant where, Bruce Wayne went there and immediately ordered the coffee. So I don't know what it says about the attendance of the restaurant, or maybe their popularity of their coffee.
Anyway, everyone at home, strap in, because we have been going easy so far. The rest of this story is fucking bonkers.
It's so weird. It gets...
So I'm gonna breeze by some stuff. Not because, this is all gonna be crazy, but trust me, we need to wait to talk about the craziest part. So, Batman goes, okay, Robin, we need to put on disguises. Then it cuts to a newspaper boy, and then it cuts to a food inspector at the restaurant, and then a little thing saying, a newsboy, a food inspector, can you guess who they really are? Even though we just saw Batman saying, hey, Robin, let's put on disguises. Once again, should have just gone as Batman and Robin, but okay.
Yep.
That circle that says a newsboy and food inspector, can you guess who they really are, really gave me an idea that I was not in the target audience for this comic as I was reading it.
I mean, it addresses you, though, reader.
And then Bruce Wayne, disguised as the food inspector, is like, I know how to figure out who put stuff in my coffee. I'm going to sniff everyone's hands.
Yeah.
So he has all of the employees of the restaurant line up in a row, and then he smells all of their hands.
As he says, the health of this city is no joke.
Yeah. This is one of the guys is like, this is being like being back in the 3rd grade, do I pass? And then Batman's like, the health of this city is no joke.
That's like when the Joker is like, hey, the health of the city. The health of the city is no joke.
Oh yeah, he let his disguise slip for a second. I must protect Gotham. Wait, oh, sorry. Can I sniff your hand again? Next man.
Next man. Then the guy who Batman smelled funky stuff on his hand leaves, and Batman walks outside and goes up to the newsboy. Plot twist: it's Dick Grayson, and goes, "Hey, when that guy leaves, I need you to follow him." Then when he leaves, Batman gives him a hand signal from across the street, and Dick's like, "Okay, I got this." And then so this is the wildest thing. The guy is being followed by Dick Grayson at a distance, and then Batman is following Dick Grayson at a distance. And then they go into an art gallery, and then 2 more men enter the gallery, who Batman describes as something odd about those men. Something foreign.
Oh no.
Oh
Yeah.
no, Batman.
Which is weird to say because they just look like regular dudes.
Probably Italian.
Ah.
Ah.
Oh, the Italian,
Ah.
the spies, they're everywhere.
Robin's like, look at that big one going in, Bruce, no mistaking him. And then Batman goes, sure enough, I recognize him. He's a diplomat from a certain foreign embassy.
Which one?
So, okay, everyone listening at home, I just want you to think in your head, what is my least favorite country? Got it? Okay, just insert that in, because, like, they never specify, and
No.
this way you can
That
just,
is literally exactly what they want the reader to do. Pick their least favorite
yeah.
country and insert it.
Just pick your least favorite country.
That's not America.
Oh man, that's a cool one.
Yeah.
That's
Hey,
the
listener,
only cool one.
I like that. I like hey you listener, that country you just picked. I like it. That's a good choice. Country sucks.
Yep.
Mhm.
It's probably like your favorite country, Will. What's your favorite country?
My favorite country? Denmark. Hey, if you inserted Denmark as your least favorite country, stop listening.
Yeah,
All the,
honestly.
I don't know. I feel like there's some like Scandinavian like we don't want to lose like all our Swedish listeners or so. our many, our thousands, our millions. But
Yeah.
I think there might be some rivalry there.
Really, let's not get too controversial. On that note, my favorite country is Palestine. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Okay. Yeah, let's just
Hey,
go
guys.
right into that territory.
Hey guys. One thing that we all have to agree on right here: whatever the least favorite country the three of us picked, we all have to take that to our graves.
Totally.
Okay.
Mhm.
That'll be in my will. Someone will read it out.
Okay,
Wait.
I like that
Let's
idea.
do this here. Okay. All right. So this is the three of us, our final will and testament. This will be in addition to everything else written down. But right now, I would
When
like
we
the
die,
person.
I'm not forcing any of my loved ones to listen to this podcast.
I would like someone to read this or play this, and then we're gonna have a moment of silence where they will read out at each of our individual funerals the our least favorite country. So, yeah, a moment of silence, exactly 5 seconds.
Anyway, so then the two guys who walked into the art gallery meet up with the guy who walked in earlier from the restaurant. And he's like, hey, I figured out Batman's secret identity. He drank the coffee when he wasn't in his disguise. And then you, the reader, might be like, oh no, they figured out Batman's secret identity. And then the guy's just like, nah, our boss doesn't pay for information like that. So
Yeah,
we can just
that's
hand wave that away.
that's exactly when they went. That's exactly the mistake they made by going to the restaurant just as Bruce and Dick with no disguise whatsoever. If that guy cared, this would be the like climax of all Batman. If that guy only cared, this would
Honestly,
be
this
his
would be the
ultimate-
end.
Like this
of
would
Batman's
be-
career.
This would be Nightfall if only this guy just gave a single shit about Batman's identity.
And then someone's like, and unless someone doesn't pay for information, we don't care about it. You're
No.
telling me no one would pay
He
for
doesn't
that?
even check.
Uh,
I feel like
and
maybe
then-
this is before the point where supervillains are like I don't know. I guess none of the supervillains really care.
Then the guy's like, "Hey, do you got more pills for me?" And the other guy's like, "Right here. Do you have the money? Not our money. Just like insert like francs or ruples or whatever the people you hate use. Not our money, American money."
The good stuff, not our
Yeah.
garbage currency, actual money.
Uh,
As a Robbins regular, I really enjoy the nationalism. That is.
Why is this? This is
That's
the
joke number 4.
Oh man.
I think joke 4 might just be Robin.
Yeah.
anything Robin related, I will probably laugh. Like you all could just say Dick Grayson right now. I will probably chuckle.
Jason Todd.
Hey,
Robin is all
he's
powerful
not
and
real,
also
Robin.
has a
I'm not
small
gonna
army
laugh.
at his disposal of regulars.
Anyway, then Batman and Robin walk in, and they're just like, "Okay, stop it. We're done. We're just gonna beat you up now." The FBI will be happy to see you spies. And then.
And then what does
Someone
Batman drop from the
else has to
ceiling?
talk about the flying feet. I don't think I can manage it without dying of laughter.
Oh
Okay.
my god.
The flying feet is a mobile of feet hanging from the ceiling that Batman just kind of drops on one of the guys to save Robin from that guy.
Read
And
his thought
you
bubble.
may be wondering. You may be wondering. Will, what are you wondering right now?
what does the mobile represent?
Well, it's the flying feet.
It's yeah.
No, read Batman's thought bubble.
I don't know what this mobile is supposed to represent, but to me it's a lifesaver for Robin. Now, some of you may have an even deeper question about this mobile. What is a mobile? Is there any way to
I
figure
know what
that
a
out,
mobile
guys?
is. I know
Could
what
you
a mobile
explain
is.
Could you
It's
explain
the
it?
thing that you put above like a baby carriage where it spins and it's got
what-
stuff hanging from it.
I have an alternate definition for you, Will.
Oh.
A mobile is a piece of modern sculpture with parts moving, usually around a central axis. You want to know where I got that definition, Will?
The dictionary?
No, I want you to look at the bottom of this panel.
Oh my god.
I didn't notice that. I didn't notice that. Oh my god. Holy cow. That's the funniest thing in the world.
This
And then
when I first saw this, I thought, man, like the same thing I thought when they explained who the newsboy and the and the food inspector were. I was like, I am really not the target audience for this. But then I realized something. As Will said, I think mobiles are something that are often seen above like an infant's crib.
Mm-hmm.
One of the very first things you may experience as a human, and they felt the need to define it.
Well, I mean, many of us might not have memory of such a thing. It happened a long time ago. You know, when we were babies.
That's true.
I
Jack?
enjoy this next panel where Robin knocks a guy out by swinging an empty painting over his head. Like it doesn't hit him. like it's not like a comical thing where the guy's head goes to the painting. The frame is empty and he just swings it over his head.
He hits his shoulders.
Yeah.
And
Do you
then on
guys
the
think
next
the
panel,
flying feet have anything to do with the flying Graysons?
Yes, I think that every time Dick Grayson sees anything elevated off the ground, I think he has intense PTSD flashbacks to the time that a man who looked like a frog killed his family.
He swings around a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot that he kind of looks like a frog segment.
We're moving on.
Well, we can come back to it. The flying feet is utilized a lot in this comic.
Yeah, like on the next page when Batman takes it. I can't talk about it.
You're that
Someone else do
incapacitated
it.
by the flying feet. He just throws one of the like things of the mobile, takes it off and just throws it in order to stop one of the spies from shooting him. Throws it at his hand so he drops the gun.
Mind you, in the exact same motion as one of his patented batarangs, except, I
He doesn't
mean,
use a batarang.
but he has this utility belt right there. Why did he have to use the flying feet?
The batarangs were in the belt of the suit that got torn up, and he didn't realize he left them. He left them on the floor of the Batcave until now.
Things are just on the floor.
He's like, shit, I gotta improvise.
Anyway, Batman and Robin call the FBI. the FBI office in Gotham City, which at first I laughed at for being a weirdly specific thing. Then I was like, nah, they'd probably got
They
one
need
there.
100%.
6. They need more than one.
And then on this last page, these last 4 beautiful panels, I could talk about each for an hour. I wanted to talk about just the first one real quick, where Batman and Robin have gone to the office, and the FBI guys are like, these pills that the spies got hold of are a top secret chemical weapon that the U.S. Army developed, but would never use, Batman. The effect is too inhumane. They're the pills that make everyone around you hate them.
That's what they were putting in the coffee.
Yeah,
Except for our enemies.
And
Our
they were
enemies
trying
have
to
no scruples.
They were trying to sell. They were using that as proof of concept, essentially, to sell those pills.
Yeah.
To some.
So first of all, I think these pills are a really interesting concept. I wouldn't mind seeing a modern Batman writer who's actually good at making comics try to use these. But also, so comics are sometimes referred to as a media where personal interpretation can influence the most of how you feel about something. With just a written media, you get no visual information, and with film, you get visuals and dialogue, but the visuals are complete. There's no gray area. So my personal interpretation was that this guy was lying to Batman, like how you lie to a child.
He is
we definitely weren't planning on using these. The U.S. Army developed these.
They
but
literally
we weren't gonna
developed
use
them.
We weren't gonna use. We weren't gonna
made
use them.
the chemical.
And Batman, being the fool that he is, in my interpretation, was just like, yeah, okay, I believe that. Can I just talk about the last panel, and then we can talk about some other stuff.
Yeah.
So the mayor throws a party for Batman and Robin as an apology for the brief 20 minutes when everyone hated him. And he goes, I hope this makes up for the accidental mistreatment you suffered the other day, Batman. The city extends its apologies. Mr. Mayor, the ceremony makes up for everything. Batman doesn't say, no, don't worry about it.
It wasn't
it's
your fault.
All the day. He just goes, thanks, this makes up for it. Yeah, throw me a party. This totally makes up for it. This is awesome.
Yeah.
Also, I want to point
It
out
was
how
literally his fault. He just went to the restaurant, drank the coffee without a second thought. It was entirely his fault.
I also want to point out how weird Robin's hands are in this panel.
Also, what is
that's
this?
a strange way to clap.
What exactly, in context, is this piece of paper that he's being given?
I don't know.
You don't? Because it's a special citation signed by the President of the United States, thanking him and Robin for rounding up the spies.
Holy shit! You're
I thought you were making that up for a little bit. No, that's exactly what it is.
Guys, one guy in the audience, they're all clapping, and one guy alone yells, "Hurrah, Batman!"
Hurrah, Batman!
I'm sure he was trying to start a chant, but no one joined him.
He's like a man at a sports game.
It's like the one. Oh,
go ahead.
It's like the one guy at a bad E3 conference. Where no matter how lame it is, there's always one guy. Yeah.
Woo, yeah!
I've heard conspiracy theories about those guys being paid by the game developer.
So, what are your guys' thoughts on this two-parter story overall?
Well, I have two. I'm left with
hold
two
on.
questions. Oh, do we have to do favorite panel?
We have to do favorite panel.
We have to do favorite panel.
I want to go first because I want to talk about this so badly. I love this so much. It is the panel where Batman orders coffee for me, waiter, and milk for my ward. This is my favorite Batman panel we have looked at so far on the show. First of all, they're just in a yellow void that for some reason, it's like they're standing in an inferno. It's like a blinding light that's leaving them all in complete shadow. Batman, it's hard to tell if this is a thought bubble or a speech bubble because it's connected to another speech bubble, but he seemingly openly discusses the case that they're on in front of the waiter. And also, when he says milk for my ward, look at Robin's face. That is the saddest look I have ever seen on a human being. I love this image.
I really need to look at this panel. my comic has just disappeared from my screen.
They're shrouded.
no.
For Will's favorite panel of all time that we've
Quentin,
discussed.
can you talk about a panel and we let Jack deal with that so he can...
I mean, thank you for getting us here, because my favorite panel may just be the one that follows it. Now, the thing that I want to touch on here is the coloring. Look at Dick's eyes.
Oh my goodness.
They are colored the same as his skin.
What?
Yes.
They're not on my scan.
They're not?
No.
On my scan, they are the exact same color as the rest of his skin.
Wacky.
I wish I could see for myself, but my scan is a black screen.
Dude, everyone, do we want to pause for a second and let Jack fix this?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys.
Well, now I need to amend my favorite panel. It is the one where Batman has the oblong head and he looks terrible. And Robin says, "I hate you. You are my enemy."
That one runs away with it. I think I fixed my thing. I'm sorry, guys.
Awesome.
I think it's working out.
What is your favorite panel?
Okay. Well, when I was going through this, my original favorite panel was the one where Batman talks with the FBI agents who say they would never use it because it's so easy to assume that they are just lying through their teeth. I just love how they took the detail to really say this was developed by the U.S. Army. This was not developed by these criminals or by the foreign embassy. We, and by we I mean the U.S. The U.S. made this. So why would you ever assume that they weren't planning to use it? What possible reason would they have to make this chemical? It just is great. It's such a weird picture of like 60s, like, you know, clearly there's like a Cold War theme.
Oh yeah,
into
undertones.
Yeah.
I mean, the only context that this provides is that, first of all, the U.S. developed the chemical because we already knew its effect. We already knew who was using it. The only thing we didn't know was where it came from. And they could have just said it was developed by our enemies. No.
Could have made instead, it just like one of. They could have just made it one of the like 24 just like chemist supervillains who live in Gotham.
Honestly, they could have said nothing, and I would have just filled in the blank in my head that, oh yeah, the guys who were using it on people were the ones who developed it.
Mm-hmm.
But then you got Batman there thinking, this explains what happened to me and the others.
Mm-hmm.
The pills were put in the coffee we drank.
If you want to read into this, Batman looks like perfectly content with this news, and Robin's like what the fuck? Robin looks like us, where he's like realized the implication of this, but Batman's just like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, okay, go America, baby.
I'm gonna say America. It. Robin is so much more competent than Batman.
I think that's actually a common theme of maybe many of the stories we've read involving the dynamic.
And certainly all of the ones we're reading today.
Yes. and now I have finally found Will's panel with the yellow inferno and Robin looking just very dejected. And I'm really happy. Thank you, Will. That's a wonderful panel.
I'm glad. It looks like the building's on fire.
Yeah, it does.
So Shwarbage, time to decide, fellas. I need some time to think. Can one of you start?
Oh, I mean, I can go first. I have a pretty definitive feeling on this. Man, what a comic. I think that in context, this may be this. If you're reading this straight, thinking about it from the time frame, this may just be the worst that we have. Like, it's blatantly like nationalist and xenophobic in a very nondescript way. Just like hating on some foreign country. The storytelling is bad. The characters are not interesting. The climax of the story is dealt with immediately. It feels like 90% random bullshit, 5% Batman ordering ordering milk for Robin, and then another 5% what we actually came here for, which was the titular, fight between Robin and Batman that didn't even last like 2 whole panels.
It got maybe 3.
It got maybe 3. So for that, I'm gonna have to give it a Schwarbage.
Jack.
All right. I'm very much in agreement with Quentin on this one. So I do feel as if whenever we discuss these comics, it gives me a greater fondness for them in a maybe ironic way. But actually looking at what I got out of this comic when I read it, as I mentioned earlier, I picked this comic out, and it was I've never read it before. It was because of the cover, which is amazing. The cover is beautiful. It has, Robin telling Batman that he hates him and telling him to get out of town. And I especially love the other random guy who's also telling Batman to never show up in Gotham again. My friends, I got clickbaited by this comic.
Yep.
This was just a story. For 3 panels, it was about that. About Robin telling Batman to go away. And then, other than that, it was just like... it's about like a coffee shop, like... They chasing people down and hitting them with the flying feet.
With the flying feet.
No, that's not good.
To clarify, that was points in favor for me. They did inform me what mobiles were. I was very ignorant of this topic.
There's no supervillain. There's not even really a mystery. Like, there's just nothing.
The real supervillain was the U.S. government.
That's true.
I mean,
what do you think?
What do I think? My mind is a battlefield. 2 horrible forces waging against each other. One of which flying the banner of this comic was dog shit. The other one flying the banner of this was the funniest thing I have ever read, and possibly like the greatest comic of all time. And you should give it a Schway because it made you laugh a lot.
That might be the theme of our show.
It's a war of reason, and also this was so fucking funny. I exist in superposition. If I'm observed, I commit, but I don't know if I want to commit. But I have to, because it's how the show works. Guys, someone give me a 3 count, and I'm just gonna say Schwarbage, just instinctually.
all right. 3, 2, 1.
Schwarbage.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah,
my
it's not
god.
good.
Yeah.
It's bad. Yeah.
That makes it unanimous. Folks.
The only mystery here, the only plot twist that managed to pull on me, I thought that the whole entire thing was going to be that everyone else had ingested something from the milk that made them fucking crazy. And that everyone in the city had gone to that fucking restaurant.
I wish that were the case.
That probably would have made it so much better for me.
That would have been. That's such a funny idea. Instead of this, it's weird. This restaurant is so popular that only 3 people have gotten coffee. It's also weird. It's funnier to think. It's so weird that everyone in Gotham has gone to this restaurant and all got milk.
On the same day.
Except these 3 people. Plus Batman.
The contrarians that ordered the coffee. I don't even think I'm ready to talk about the next comic.
Yeah, let's. All right.
Oh my God.
Next up on the list, The Elongated Man, Desert Double Cross.
We're not reading Elongated Man, Desert
Nothing
Double Cross.
pleases Ralph Dibny, the celebrated elongated man, more than a tantalizing mystery which takes all his wits and stretching powers to solve.
Are we gonna read Rocky and Bullwinkle?
No, we're not. Please, I want to read the next one. I think it's interesting to talk about.
I think it's incredibly interesting.
In today's show, we'll be talking about every piece of media to ever be released.
Yeah.
Someone take us through
take it away.
This next one.
So, the cover of this issue, Batman number 181, released in June. Once again, think it's very funny. They just list the month it was released, but not the year. Trouble between the dynamic duo. Is she the cause? Beware of poison ivy. Do you guys like my narrator voice? Just trying it out. Oh, yes.
I mean, it's pretty good.
If me and Alright, so we've established that Quentin is Batman, I'm Robin. You're the narrator.
You're the narrator.
Awesome. Anyway, this is the first issue of Poison Ivy.
Ever?
Longtime viewers of our podcast will know that we think her name is very funny, and yeah.
What's her name?
Pamela Lillian Rose Isley.
Funny.
It's so funny.
And she's got a plant gimmick.
That she does.
The first page, the cover panel for the story is incredible. First of all, Poison Ivy is kissing Batman, and he looks flabbergasted at this. And Robin is going, "Oh no, Batman's reeling, going into a tailspin from the kiss by Poison Ivy." Blah 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 blah. I want to focus on the fact that Robin punched someone so hard they did a cartwheel and kicked another man in the head.
He's thinking about this mid-punch.
Yeah. Robin is just so casual with just, like, the fucking power moves that I love it so much. Anyway, everyone, I need you to strap in once again. This story starts off so bonkers. We open on the Gotham City Museum. There is a art show going on showing pop art of the world public enemies number 1, 2, and 3, who are also the 3 most beautiful women in the world.
3 of the most beautiful women in the world, according to Batman. But yes, maybe I was thinking about this. Maybe the pop artist is actually trying to make a statement about misogyny in this by saying, like, world public enemy number 1, 2, and 3, and it's all women. Like, it's all just like conventionally attractive women. And maybe that just went over Batman and Robin's head, who took it as a literal assessment of the tier list of who is the biggest enemy to the public.
But also, you're forgetting, we're gonna meet these 3. These are real.
Oh, they are genuine.
I forgot that these were characters in the story.
Anyway, they're Dragonfly, Silken Spider, and my new favorite Batman villain, Tiger Moth, world public enemy number 3.
I love how she's just holding a gun with her right hand, pointed out, and a bag.
The first 2 are in like typical kind of like beautiful poses, and then Tiger Moth is just holding a gun to the artist.
And all right, Jack, I think it's our time to read some dialogue. This is the funniest fucking shit on the planet.
Please go.
There they are, Dick. Dragonfly, Silken Spider, and Tiger Moth, 3 of the most beautiful women in the world. And the most deadly. Stop drooling. You're too young.
I can dream until I'm old enough to try to catch him, can't I?
We've established that you are old enough. You are Robin.
I don't know if that was the same voice at all that I did last time. I completely forgot.
I like it that the idea that it keeps changing because it seems like every issue it's a different Robin. Batman's just got so many.
This is Todd Clayson.
Is that real? Is that
No. I love our collective OC do not steal Todd Clayson. This is like the third and a half Robin.
The third and a half.
And then Poison Ivy breaks in and is like, "You guys are idiots. I'm both the most beautiful and the most deadly supervillain in the world." And then Batman's like, "Yeah, you are." And then Poison Ivy's like, "I know." And then she blinds everyone and then runs away.
And just to clarify, by Batman in that scene you mean Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, Bruce Wayne.
Because it does become a factor later on in this story. Bruce Wayne just says, "Damn." This woman who claims to be like the world's greatest criminal, he says, "You are luscious, Dreamboat." First word said.
I have a question. Do you guys think at this point in comic history, is Batman putting this on as like the public persona so people don't realize he's Batman, or is that like his genuine reaction to see
Quentin, sorry. Go ahead.
No. You go ahead. You go ahead.
The rest of this comic makes it 100% clear to me that is just his genuine personality.
I would concur, and I think that it's been shown previously in the same series of comics, way back when Catwoman was introduced, that he is so not above this. This is so in character.
Anyway, people tried to take photos of Poison Ivy, and she like turns the flashes back on them or whatever and blinds them, and then she gets into the elevator and runs away. And Batman, while he's blind, is like, "I better go after her," and puts on his Batman costume while he and everyone else is still blind, and then while blind runs to the elevator, and then because the elevator's gone down, or danger elevator is being repaired. Sorry. He just jumps down the elevator shaft and like just fucking falls down a big like a museum.
A very slapstick comedy twist.
Very much.
But
very yes.
But perhaps unfortunately he does manage to rescue himself before he comically hits the ground and goes like boing.
Boing. He puts his hand on the cable, and then one of the workers looks up and goes, "No wonder they call him Batman. He's like coming down upside down or whatever." That's an exact quote. Don't check. And then Batman, when he hears that, he's like, "That's my cue," and he can tell because they said that the door was there, and he swings out even though he's still blind.
Actually, no, it's not even that. It's something fucking stupid. Did you see that dive to the open door of the lobby? What the fuck does that have to do with being Batman?
He dove like a bat.
None of this dialogue makes sense. Back when Ivy was making her escape, she said a line, "Don't forget to spell the name right, boys. Poison as in arsenic." Good. Ivy as in irresistible.
Total.
No. Ivy as in irresistible. What? What? No.
Don't leave out the ta-ta. It's important.
Ivy as an irresistible ta-ta. But what the fuck?
Yeah, it's weird that Ivy is equivalent to irresistible.
Yeah, it's just a line. Like that's the only way you can describe it. It's a line. It's something she says.
This comic is so heavy on the dialogue. Like all of these fucking panels at least have like 4 paragraphs worth.
That's a very common theme of I think every comic we've read. Every panel is just a full paragraph. There's no like establishing shot panels. There's no just pure action panels ever.
I mean, there have been some. Like they do funny chase scenes, but like I've noticed that in some, it's they just let it be funny action, and in others, it has to be narrated inside of the character's head as it's going on.
Speaking of action, Batman, is he still? It's unclear when he stops. No, he's still blind. He's still blind.
Yeah, he's still blind.
He rushes to like the door. It's like a sliding. It's like a spinning door, like a circular door. He exits the building, and there's a group of goons, and one of them goes, Poison Ivy gave us $100 a piece to stay out here in the fresh air, and promised us another century note for each mug we stopped coming out of the building. Batman ought to be worth a cool grand. And then this group of 4 guys just start beating up blind Batman, and this escalates to Poison Ivy escaping, and she looks at Batman and thinks, Bruce Wayne's cute, but Batman's a real He-Man, which is a weird thing to say, and then it's extra weird when you realize that currently Batman is surrounded on all sides by 4 guys all like punching him at the same time. It's just a very unflattering moment for Batman.
But he's getting them. He's outwitting them.
I mean,
okay, but not on that panel. On that panel, you can see there's 4 separate points of contact. One guy's hitting him in the face, another guy's hitting him in the shoulder, one guy's getting him in the ribs, and another guy's clocked him over the back of the head.
And he's flexing.
he's flexing. Poison Ivy says, "How can I choose between them? Them being Bruce Wayne and Batman." And then the story ends. Part 2.
The story continues on there. You forgot to mention the Batman logo at the bottom of the page.
Well, I assumed it went without saying. Everyone knows the famous Batman logo.
And so that's it. That's Beware of Poison Ivy Part 1. What'd you guys think?
I think we should probably talk about Part 2 because it is equally, if not more, funny.
You know what I think?
That's a whole page away from Part 1.
Oh, and I think something very, very stupid in this writing. You know what? You know what would have been a better thing to say? You know what would have been a better fucking thing to say instead of, oh, he's diving out of the elevator into the fucking lobby. Blah, blah, blah.
You're still hung up on that.
He's navigating through this entire thing without his sight. Like, a bat does. And they don't bring that up once. They have the audacity. They have the audacity to say, no wonder they call him Batman.
It's not that those guys didn't know he was blind. It's that those guys knew he was blind, but also are very well versed in the fact that bats being blind is a myth, and bats actually have excellent eyesight.
Do they?
They see in the dark phenomenally. That's a complete myth, because, they do have echolocation, but also, they see real good.
Oh.
So these guys are just big, they're just very smart. They're very smart elevator repairsmen.
They were, like, the guy on the right was, like, thinking about it, and the other guy was like, actually, that's a misconception. Don't say that when he gets down here.
Hey, I know you see Batman coming down here. Don't say a thing about him being blind. It's not true. We don't want to spread false information.
I thought that was true as well, Quentin. So,
I'm not a zoologist, Will.
I am.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we probably should have revealed our fields of study at this point.
Yeah. I'm doubling zoology and what's something else funny? Math. Is math funny?
No.
No, it's not.
Well, damn, I've already committed to it.
He's our math guy. We're gonna ask him all the math questions.
Yeah, you're the math guy now. I also double majored in bat and man. That one was a lot funnier in my head, guys. Believe me.
I should have done zoology and criminal psychology.
I didn't double major, but I dropped out of criminology and finished the rest of my education at a clown college.
Nice.
So I'm like the Joker.
I'm the Joker, baby.
I'm the Joker, baby.
Actually, you're poison. You're Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn. Joker is a chemist.
I double majored in law and crime. My name is Harvey Dent.
I double majored in killer and croc.
Wasn't Punchline literally introduced on a college campus?
Yes.
We'll get to that.
Will we?
Maybe.
You keep saying we'll get to that, but I cannot guarantee how long this podcast will go.
I'm feeling some longevity here.
No, you know what? I'm gonna set it down right now. We will get to every Batman.
We've talked about this.
We're committing it. We're committing. I'm committing us all right now to a lifetime. We will get to it.
Yeah, well, you're our math guy. You're our math guy. Calculate how long it'll take.
Yeah, I'll just real quick bust out my handy dandy calculator. Boop 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 doop. Yeah, guys, we have enough time. Our mortal coil will not be shuffled off until we have. Oh man, this ain't math. I just made a deal with the devil. We can't die until we've talked about all of Batman. Oh man.
We just have to release episodes faster than they can release new material.
Hey guys,
Holy
shit. We can't do that.
And every single time they release a new fucking Batman piece of media, we get revived.
Kid, at the rate we're going right now, we will never be able to catch up. You all do not know how hard it is to get just one single.
Don't ruin the magic. Don't ruin the movie magic. This is easy. It's easy. Become a podcaster. You can do it. We believe in you. Yeah, you. You from earlier who had that really cool least favorite country. You can do it. We believe in you. Come on.
Man,
anyway,
we really need to talk to you.
All right.
Yeah, who wants to talk about Where Poison Ivy
let's...
Part 2? This man's face is weird.
This man's face is very weird. But Robin... and the guy that Robin is punching, his face is weird.
guys, we need to...
Look at Batman, too. He's looking away.
There's so much.
Guys, please, we talked about immortality and the devil for like 5 minutes. We need to go quick. Come on.
Okay. Batman's still beating up the guys. Then he can see again. Robin's back. They beat the guys, and they're gonna go back and regroup. Poison Ivy's sending out some letters to the number 1, 2, and 3 greatest public enemies in the world: Dragonfly, Silken Spider, and Tiger Moth.
Let's go! I love Tiger Moth.
And what these letters contain, I think, is really something special. These letters are written they're to these 3 villains, but they're supposed to be from each other. That's what they purport to be. And what they are is debating about the specific rankings of 1, 2, and 3, which apparently these women have taken as actual, an actual tier list, an actual ranking of their villainness, which is a big point of pride for them. So they are deeply offended that someone might say you're more like number 3 than number 2, or hey, I'm gonna take your number 1 spot.
Isn't this a fucking Greek myth?
Yeah, this is how the Trojan War started.
Yeah, this is how the Trojan War started.
That's intentional, right?
I have no clue.
Isn't that the crown?
No. Is it a crown? No.
I thought it was a fruit or something.
I think it's an apple, maybe.
Okay.
Apple of the Hesperides? Whatever. The goddess of revenge gets salty she wasn't invited to a wedding, shows up, throws an apple into the room, and says, "That's for the most beautiful goddess." And three different goddesses want it, and that's why the Trojan War started.
That seems like an intentional reference.
Hey guys, do we have enough room in our jokes to add a 5th one, and it's the Trojan War? I think we can get a lot of mileage out of that.
I think the Trojan War can join our ranks. We need to be writing this down.
Epics about that.
Anyway, then it cuts to Batman and Robin and the Batcopter swinging in. Also, she sent an invitation to Batman and Bruce Wayne for them to both show up so they can fight to the death for Poison Ivy. Anyway, Batman and Robin show up and they parachute in to just this fucking like a fucking battle royale where the three villains are there and each brought like an army of goons and they're all just having a big punch.
This is the Trojan War.
This is a question I thought of. Did each of the three supervillains bring a bunch of goons, or did Poison Ivy just invite a shit ton of people? Because Batman says that's what Batman thinks. Like he says, looks like Poison Ivy sent out a flock of invitations, and everyone showed up ahead of time to surprise everyone else. And there's like 30 people on the ground.
It's public enemies number 4 through 30.
These are not goons. These are simps. These are stands.
These are.
That's
why they care so much about the number 1, 2, and 3. It's like the Billboard charts. Like these are all the fans arguing.
I love how they break this up. Just all of the dialogue on this next panel as they are parachuting in is the fucking best.
Do you want to read it or
read some of it?
Oh yeah. So it begins with.
Hold on. Wait. Each of us, I call dibs on what Tiger Moth. We'll each voice one of these two.
Is that the dialogue you were?
Yeah, I want. Yeah, on the next page with all three of them talking, we each take one. I want Tiger Moth.
I'm gonna be the middle one. I want the middle one.
Okay,
the Silken Spider.
Silken Spider.
Yeah.
All right. Remember what you were called?
This is the one that I can't remember.
Me neither.
Wait, I'm pulling it up.
Dragonfly.
Dragonfly. Why are they all bugs? Anyway. Truce! While we snap up these foolish male insects for daring to intrude on our private party.
Agreed.
Ditto. And then Batman and Robin swing in, and they on parachutes, and they swing so hard that they knock out a bunch of guys.
They have and they're swinging to avoid bullets, which people are shooting at them while they're slowly coming down in parachutes.
They swing so fast that they create like fucking after images. So funny.
This next page is just a series of hilarities. Poison Ivy walks up to the three villains with a crown. I want to point out she's not wearing any gloves. Trust me, it'll be important in approximately 2 panels. She says this crown was for the real number 1, and all 3 of them grab it at the same time and get electrocuted. And Poison Ivy has a long speech, but I'm just going to want to point out how thoughtless of me not to mention that I used shockproof gloves to hold the crown. No, you did not.
No.
Skin-colored gloves.
Whoa, yeah, I was about to say, what if they're just skin-colored gloves?
Hey, guys.
Yeah?
I just realized, this is exactly what happened in Batman and Robin. Robin had the skin color mouth guard.
Oh my god.
Holy cow.
Wait.
It all comes together.
He took a trick out of her book.
Her book? Her babbling brook.
Maybe. All right. Here. I have a theory.
A game theory?
Yeah, a game theory.
Oh.
In the panel where she's holding the crown, you can only see her left hand. She is just holding it up with her right hand in perfect perspective, so it looks like her left hand is holding it up, but it's not really. It's actually closer to the camera. The theoretical camera, and the right hand is a glove.
That is reaching so far, and I love it.
Anyway, Batman uppercuts a man so hard he does a backflip. Next page. I've been talking a lot. Someone talk about these last two pages.
Well, So Ivy seduces Batman.
Does she? I guess.
Well,
somewhat.
I think once again, it's just that Batman is weird and antisocial. Cause like, look at how he's holding his arms when he gets kissed. He's clearly just very uncomfortable and doesn't know what to do.
Well, look how he is when he gets. Look at how his lips do not like purse at all. She is just kissing the outside of his mouth. He actually looks like he's clenching.
Also,
like,
his nose is colored skin tone. I just realized that.
Yeah, you know that bit or that thing that you can do where you can like make your lips go inside of your mouth? He looks like he's doing that.
Everyone who hears this is gonna do that immediately.
Yeah.
I did.
Also, there's a great onomatopoeia on the next panel. Zoc.
Zoc. I think we saw Zoc.
Yeah, Zoc's been a mainstay of Robin's punch sound effects.
The most powerful punch. The Zoc.
I want to point out real quick. We're nearing the end. We did get we got baited again. Poison Ivy does not cause a rift between Batman and Robin in this issue.
No, not
Hardly.
at all.
I got a bit of trivia at the end of this to talk about regarding that, but in this issue it does not happen. Robin pulls Batman out of the kiss and starts sniffing him, and he goes, "She's wearing chloroform-based lipstick," and Poison Ivy's like, "Curses." But Batman would have kissed me if I had used ketchup for lipstick. Anyway, and Batman's just very confused, it seems.
Incredibly confused. Oh, this next panel.
Then, Poison Ivy demonstrates her famous superpower that I'm sure we all know. Say it with me. She climbs up the wall like Poison Ivy growing on a wall.
So, using the perspective of the shot, I thought initially that this was a roof, that she was like...
like she jumped onto a roof.
She doesn't look conscious. I accidentally flipped forward to this panel, and I thought that she was sliding off of the roof. I thought that she was unconscious, like up there, sliding downwards. And then I read the dialogue, and then I got very confused very quickly. Mm-hmm. Because her eyes look closed.
Yeah, very much so. Last page. Batman recovers from his dizziness and confusion and just throws a battering at Poison Ivy, where she just falls off a building. And Batman catches her, and someone from off screen says, "You've caught Poison Ivy, Batman! Ha ha ha!" And I at first assumed this was Robin, then I realized we don't actually know that, and I think it'd be very
it's
funny.
Probably Robin.
Well, I think it'd be very funny if Silk and Spider or Tiger Moth or the other one were like on the ground just like making this quip at Batman.
Or the 17th biggest threat to the world, like
Joe.
Jimmy.
This is the scorekeeper. This is the fucking like... This actually happens every single time that he catches a criminal. It's just... it's only shown here.
Anyway, the next panel, Poison Ivy's in jail, and the story ends. Can I tell you guys a bit of trivia and read this last bit of dialogue?
Okay.
So she says, "I warn you, Batman, once you've caught Poison Ivy, you never get rid of it. I'm not worried about getting out of here. You will help me. Just you wait and see." We're not going to read it because I want to differentiate the content we do. Poison Ivy is correct.
What?
Her second appearance is Batman like hallucinating that he's seeing her everywhere and genuinely falling in love with her and then breaking him out of jail. And in that story is when we get that like breaking up Batman and Robin's like, "You are being an idiot right now."
I really want to read that.
Yeah,
I highly recommend reading it. I don't think we should do it for the podcast because I don't want to dominate. I don't want this to just dominate, but it is a much better story than this one.
I do want to point out, Will, that she is wrong about one thing, though. Mm-hmm. If any of you have ever caught Poison Ivy, like rubbed up against a plant, you do get rid of it.
Very true.
It goes away. Well, maybe not the emotional scarring, but the physical shit goes away pretty quick.
Do we want to do favorite panel for the whole issue or just this story? Because there is another story.
Let's do story by story.
Okay. So for the first two-parter story, what one of you guys go first? Favorite panel?
I have one. I have one. So
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you some time if you need. This is the first real panel that has Poison Ivy in it, and most of it is text. There's not a lot to like say about it, except I just love Bruce Wayne's face in this panel so much. He looks like he is like trying not to look suspicious, or he's just completely like he's trying to make a serious face even though he's on the verge of laughter or crying or something. He just looks so suspicious, so like shady. Like he's trying to blend in this, and I just think that's a great little face.
Quentin, you go, because I'm stuck between two, and I'm hoping you will talk about one of them.
I am also stuck between two.
Okay.
I
Guys,
Yeah,
just do them. Do both of them.
do them both. Okay. I'm gonna. Mine are the two. They're both the first panels of both the parts.
yeah.
Are they the same with you?
No. One of mine is different, but my one of them was the first panel of part two.
So yeah, we already talked about this one a little bit. Everyone just looks so weird.
So strange.
The
If you
big
turn
guy
the-
in the
if-
middle is just
If you turn the page upside down, this guy looks like he's like I don't know. He just looks like he's having a good time.
Honestly. And the Zoc returns?
he's having fun.
Anyway, I want to talk about the first one. We did talk about it a little bit. It's mostly because Tiger Moth looks so hilarious just holding the gun at the person making the painting. But my favorite thing about this panel, the first panel of the whole story, is the two guys in the bottom right of the panel. Who are just like in their own little world, like looking at a piece of paper, just minding their own business, because they look so detailed for no reason. Why are these guys gonna be detailed figures when in the next panel, 4 of the background characters are just like black and blue silhouettes?
It's inconsistent. It always has been.
Okay, Quentin, you go.
Oh yeah, well I want to touch upon that list of canon Batman things. We can add Robin's open elevator shaft allergy.
Yeah, his allergy to elevators.
Yeah, but specifically open elevator shafts. And then I would like to highlight the second to last panel of the entire issue, or not issue, story.
We have another story.
Yeah, we have another story. God damn it. It's Poison Ivy's face. That's the fucking picture you take of someone at the worst possible second. Like, that's the kind of thing that someone would, like, try and break into your phone to delete. That's a fucking
I'm
bad...
impressed actually. Because that's a very real express. Like that's a very
Yeah. And I love Batman's face here too.
He was moving just as fast as she was falling. Actually, to clear that fucking distance, you can't really
very impressive.
determine using these fucking awful perspectives that we are given.
You're the math guy.
I'm gonna say because Poison Ivy fell and falling things, they eventually everything hits terminal velocity, right? That's the thing. Batman can run at terminal velocity. I think that's the math I did.
We have nothing else to corroborate this, but it is going on the canon list.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, we have another story.
Fuck.
Well, wait.
We're
Guys,
not talking
was
about
this
the
Schway or
one
Shwarbage?
page of. Okay,
No,
yeah.
was this Schway or Shwarbage?
No, we do the whole comic, Jack. It's the whole
Okay.
comic. We gotta read the
Okay.
last issue first. I do want
I
to
thought
touch
we
on
did
this.
stories last time. We did it by story, but maybe
Not last time. We've always done full comics.
Well, except when we did Batman issue. Wait, no.
No, we've done full comics every time except for when we just read the Riddler story in Batman Black and White issue 5.
That is true.
That's the only time we've done it, and this is not Batman Black and White issue 5. This comic has a page of best bat wishes Batman and Robin.
in full color, not black and white. That's how you.
In the
Yeah,
fucking
there's supposed
name
to
of
be
this
like a little
bullshit?
poster you could.
The
I think
perfect
it's like a
crime,
pin-up.
slightly
imperfect.
I want to go quick. I want to just give a full overview of this whole comic because it's not interesting, and I want to just touch on it. So, everyone take a deep breath, tuck yourself in again, put on your seatbelt. We're about to go fucking wild. There is a convention for mystery novel writers, the coveted
No, you're already
Sherlock
wrong. You're
Award.
already wrong.
The winner this year is Stars Do Kill by K Day, a dumb name for a character. Anyway, so here we have the five greatest uh mystery writers of our time. K Day, some random dudes, Batman, who is at this conference for
This is
no
not
reason.
no, Will, you're misinterpreting this. This is not a convention of mystery writers. This is just like the mystery people. Like this is like people who involve
Yes, you're right.
themselves with
These are
mystery.
people who rank mystery stories. A
Yep.
good use of Batman's time. Anyway, she's like, I actually didn't write the book. It was sent to me anonymously. And then her necklace speaks and says, haha, I'm gonna kill you at the reward ceremony. And Batman's like, don't worry, I got this. And so he hops in the Batmobile and he drives to her house. And he discovers that she was kidnapped. And he's not like, hey, it's weird, I saw her. And he just moves on. And he goes and he beats up some goons who he tracked down, throws a chair at one of them. Robin's not in this story. Then he used like a curtain to take some of them out. Do you guys mind that I'm going this quick? We don't care about the story, right?
No.
No, not really.
So then Batman finds the real K-Day, and it's like, I saved you. And then he confronts the lady and is like, hold it, I'll give out the announcement here. The woman who is masquerading as K-Day, arrest her, Commissioner. The Commissioner was here.
He's
So
part of the
yeah, he's
squad.
part of the thing. So K-Day was being impersonated by Nancy Owens, an inspiring actress. Or no, sorry. I'm so sorry. I skipped a step. K-Day was being impersonated by
There's two layers to
Hunter.
Yep.
Fern Hunter is a big time actress who hates K-Day for some reason. I don't remember. I don't care. But as to not be suspected for the crime, she had aspiring actress Nancy Owens impersonate K-Day on this, or not K-Day. I'm so sorry. There's so many names. Nancy Owens impersonated Fern Hunter on the big stage so that no one would be suspicious. So this story is about Nancy Owens impersonating Fern Hunter. Fern Hunter could impersonate K-Day as to discredit her for writing a book.
No, you're missing a crucial element. Will.
Okay, what did I miss, Jack?
I just want to fill in this gap. It was a great, concise explanation of the story. The reason that Fern Hunter is she's not just trying to take credit for the book. She's trying to actually kill Faye Day and gain an alibi.
Okay,
make
but
it a mystery that's.
But once
she's trying
again,
to
I want to interject. She hired goons to kidnap K-Day. Why did she not just hire them to kill her?
Well, that was the plan, wasn't it? Like they were gonna kill her eventually.
Why not just do it immediately and skip this whole impersonation
Because
nonsense?
they needed to throw off the time of death, so it could be at the exact same time that the imposter K-Day was on stage.
Okay, but you don't need the imposter K-Day if you just kill K-Day.
But it creates an unsolvable mystery, bro.
No, but it was solved, Jack. Are you missing the whole part of the story where
obviously
Batman
It's the
failed.
solved it?
slightly imperfect crime, Will. If it hadn't been this specific, then it either would have been perfect or it would have been more
here's
than
a perfect
slightly
crime.
imperfect.
Here's a perfect
let me
crime
quote
for you.
crime reporter Art Satos.
Here's a perfect crime for you. Hire those guys to put a bomb in K-Day's house, then blow it up when K-Day's in there, and then kill the guy who put the bomb in the house.
Can I quote?
How are you gonna kill him?
Quote crime reporter Art Satos.
You can, but I won't care.
The mystery analysts would have been stuck with an unsolvable mystery. That was her goal.
The
She was creating an unsolvable mystery. And I just want to get this one thing out, because you said you don't know why Fern Hunter hates K-Day. It's because they're cousins.
No, I remember that they're cousins, but I don't remember what that has to do with it.
And I think their grandfather died, and they
left the money. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, the most generic fucking. Let's give a family member a rivalry.
Was that the plot of the Catwoman story? There was something like
no,
that.
No, kind of.
It wasn't a death.
It was like a
it was
B
just
plot.
about There's something about family.
It was different. She wasn't a part of that family.
My favorite panel is the one where the two guys are like, but how could Fern Hunter have hoped to get away with it? And then Nancy Owens just walks in like, hey, I know, like, I'm here to confess. I know why.
Nancy Owens is my favorite character because
she comes out of nowhere to
that she has
the
no
crime.
appearances. There's nothing about the play. There's nothing about anything.
Let's circle back to this. Let's circle back to this real quick.
She just rolls up.
Let's circle back to this real quick. If, like, let's say, like, Fern had gotten away with this went off smoothly, what was she going to do about Nancy Owens? I mean, they said they would probably have killed her, but what if Nancy Owens just went to the police like, hey, Fern had me impersonate her for some reason at the time K-Day died?
It's slightly
It's slightly imperfect.
No, it is a completely imperfect crime. This was a regular crime. An easily solvable, dumb, regular crime. That's what the story should have been called.
There were a select few things wrong with it.
Yeah, everyone makes mistakes, Will.
Yeah.
I expect more of Fern Hunter. Was that who it was? There's so many names.
One of the most iconic Batman villains of this entire issue.
She even rivals whatever their fucking names were.
I was about to say, if this had been fucking Tiger Lily or whatever the fuck, Tiger Moth.
Tiger Moth.
That's
the greatest Batman villain. What are your guys' favorite panels?
Okay, I have one.
You do?
I actually do. It's
of course he does. That's our segment.
It's one of the few action bits here. It's when he's confronting the gunman, and moments later in the adjoining penthouse, it's when he's totally fucking like throwing this one guy. But he's going to like grab him, and it totally looks like he's fisting him in the ass.
Oh no!
You're completely right.
It looks like he's pulling this guy's fucking like.
He looks like he's about to give him the world's worst wedgie.
Yeah. That's what it looks like, and it's fucking. It's the reaction that gets it.
Yeah.
It's Batman's Jack, blank expression, and then fucking...
Okay, Jack, what's yours?
Okay. My favorite panel is right on the next page at the very top, where... First of all, I love how in Will's incredibly concise description, he still mentioned that Batman hit someone with a chair.
It happens a lot. He hits people with tables and chairs a lot.
But Will still felt it was something worth mentioning, like even
it's
in
the most interesting thing that happens until the whole K-Day, Fern Hunter, and whatever the other one's name is fiasco.
It's the one where Batman is flying through the air with a chair, and the guy shoots a gun and says, "Missed," and then Batman has a line, "I'll give him something to cheer him up," which is a cheesy one-liner. I'm a big fan of cheesy one-liners.
Okay, but it's
but
not
what
a
really
cheesy
gets
one-liner.
Me about this.
It's not a cheesy one-liner. Batman thinks
it's a cheesy
it.
thought.
He doesn't say it. It's a thought
He
bubble.
doesn't say it.
Yep.
And that, I think, contributes. This is a theory we've been developing all episode, that Batman, sometimes he has a little bit of social awkwardness, like we all do, and he doesn't know like when to say something and when to think it. So he had a banger one-liner and he let it rock. He didn't say it. He just let it ride in his head and let the moment pass.
The way I interpret it, he totally started to say it, He said like I'll gave him oh shit oh fuck, and then he didn't finish it because he got embarrassed.
This is my new headcanon for Batman. Now that thought balloons are mostly dead in modern comics, I do think Batman is constantly making cheesy one-liners in his head in modern comics, but just never says them.
That's the difference between modern and classic comics, is just the thought bubble.
That there may be some element of truth to that, honestly.
Actually, I think that we should challenge ourselves to read one of these, but like exclude the thought bubble.
It would
Thought
be
bubbles and descriptive
much better.
I think
descriptions.
I think Batman would get a lot scarier a lot quicker.
Very true. That's also just true if we just imagine he never talks.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, Schway Shwarbage, Batman issue 181. I'll go.
Okay.
I'm gonna say it's Schway. I think it's not phenomenal, but it's a fun read. It's cool to see Poison Ivy's first comic. Did we say this was her first comic? It's her first comic. Always love seeing Tiger Moth. As fucking weird as the last story is, and has like, it's. I don't want to say it's good, but it's a nice like it's at least a mystery, which most Batman stories just aren't. So it gets credit. Yeah, I'm gonna say it's a light Schway, medium Schway.
Okay.
I like the art. I think the art's pretty good in this.
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah, some weird faces, but I mean, we all make those.
I don't know. I don't know if sometimes our faces randomly lose detail.
I was talking more of like the guy who looked happy when he was getting punched by Batman and Robin.
Yeah.
That guy's an all-timer. That guy. Well, that's not just like a little like weird like background thing. That's his whole like. He's covering the whole page.
I feel like he's gonna climb out of the screen and kill me.
No, he's a nice guy. He's happy.
This is the creation of the Joker. He falls from this into a vat of chemical.
The passing by chemical truck. Okay, someone else named this is Shwarbage.
I think I'm gonna give it a Schway, actually. This surprised me. I thought it was going to be Schwarbage after reading the last issue that we reviewed. I just went into it with a negative mindset. But I thought that there was a lot of shit, aside from these stupid fucking pieces of dialogue that make no sense. It's the little intricacies, it's just the little ones. It's just the fact that the imperfect crime is not just a little bit imperfect. It makes no fucking sense.
Well, the completely stupid crime doesn't have quite the ring to it.
No, it's the fucking awful, stupid crime that is slightly perfect. Yeah, it's just a lot of fun, even using the context of the time it was written. Like, this is something that I think is not only a good read, but just like it cheered me up, is what it did. I had a fun time reading this. Very funny, and it introduced Poison Ivy. So, yeah, good for that.
Jack?
All right, I think I might be going. I might have to go against you guys on this one.
Thank God this does not deserve unanimous.
Just
yeah, the one time you being a contrarian is good, Jack.
So to speak on the first one, I guess I like that it introduces Poison Ivy, but this story is I mean, I will admit I'm a fan of the three other villains: Silken Spider, Tiger Moth, and the other one, Dragonfly. But man, I just don't know how to interpret this comic like in terms of a modern view of like gender equality and
Oh, it's
portrayal
bad.
of women in media.
Oh yeah,
Because this is just
it's very not good.
it's just not good. It's not a great way to start off your female antagonist. Like that would become a complete mainstay in Batman. Just with this like, I don't know, Batman is just such like a he's he's so, for lack of a better word, he's so damn horny all the time.
He's such a fucking misogynist for no reason. He's a horny ass misogynist little gremlin fuck. He's an incel. He can't communicate. He sucks.
Yeah. And Robin would be right to be mad at him, even though he's not actually, despite the cover. Robin doesn't really care. He just mildly makes fun, like he teases Batman. Like, and then the second story, I didn't mind the second story, but I was surprised that Will gave this a Schway after seeming to have nothing but contempt for this.
Let me clarify.
It's a throwaway.
Let me clarify. First of all, we're bordering on two hours of podcast.
I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm going to try to wrap.
No. That's not your fault. That's just why I went quick. I want to clarify. I like that story. It's just, I don't think it's interesting to talk about. Because it's Batman solving a very simple mystery.
I mean, I wouldn't say that it's very simple.
It's a very convoluted, but it's not good.
And do you know what else it is?
That's the problem with the. It's not solvable at all by like. There's no way to interpret it as the reader. Like,
I would have loved if they'd taken like a
clues.
hint from like the Encyclopedia Brown novels and like included a section where you can solve the mystery beforehand.
But there's no clues. There's no way to figure it out. It's just like Batman. Like Batman just said. Like as soon as a clue is introduced, Batman just says like, "Oh yeah, that's like."
Should have done it like this. Columbo, where they just
literally
they just explained the mystery to us at the start of it.
That actually would have been cool.
And then we just see Batman solve it, even though we already know.
Like describe the whole thing with her going on stage and everything like before, like that. That would I would respect that. But I think this story had maybe more potential than quality. The second story, and so I'm just gonna say the issue is Schwarbage. I'm not super high on this issue.
Okay, well, friends, it's come to that time again. I'm gonna take a big swig of my tea I got here, and you all are gonna do the outro.
Hey, Jack.
Yeah, Quentin, what's up?
You want to hear something funny?
Yes.
I'm going to say something really funny right now.
Don't say anything funny.
I mean, I think I'm going to make you laugh.
No, you're not.
I think I'm actually going to make you... I'm going to make you chuckle. Get ready for it.
I'm ready.
Dr. Pamela Lillian Rose Isley.
God damn it.